Welcome to marawaTV, and joining us is Vincent Barnes. He's also known as Vinny Barnes. Thank you so much for joining us right here on marawaTV.
Thanks very much, Christian.
Vincent Barnes, you're no stranger when it comes to cricket. You were part of the Proteas, called you the former assistant coach for a very long time, 2003 till 2011, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
That is a long time, but also a great time to be part of the Proteas.
Yeah, it actually was a great period, just after the World Cup out here, and then they had a tour of England, and Eric Simons was a coach, and Eric and I coached together at Western Province, and he phoned me to ask me if I would be interested in getting involved with the Proteas, and couldn't say no. So that was the start. It was a great era. Fantastic era of cricketers. A few had retired after the World Cup, so there was a couple of young guys coming through, guys that I'd been working with, and some of the old stalwarts, the Pollocks, Kloosners, Katie Kirsten was still playing. Yeah, so it was a great era actually. You know, until the time I left, it was still a very strong Proteas squad.
You worked closely with so many cricketers. I mean, you become the father figure, that confidant, you know, the older brother. How did you handle that?
Yeah, look, I mean, I've always loved coaching and being not just a coach, but you know, as you just said, a father figure to many. You know, it was not only just guiding, you know, players through their careers, but technically or tactically, but it's also the life lessons that, you know, that you impart to them. So yeah, a lot of the people that I've coached, I've still got very, very strong relationships with, and you know, it's because of the relationship I've had over the years.
How do you maintain that relationship with the players?
Yeah, look, it's I mean, it's just this past weekend, this past week, we were in India, where we had our annual spin camp, and the two coaches were two guys I coached from a young age. Ashwell Prince was the batting coach, and Paul Adams was a bowling coach, so the spin bowling coach. So here's two guys who coached from a very young age. Paul Adams when he was young in the academy, and Ashwell also in the academy, coming through the ranks and playing for Western Province, and actually living with me and my wife, and so yeah, so it's quite strange that I'm around them and they're coaching, and so I'm sort of overseeing the program in India. But that's the relationships I've got. It's not only the two of them. There's many other cricketers that I've got quite strong relationships with, and you know, it goes a lot deeper than just cricket.
Those relationships are important. Once you left the Protea setup, you then got involved with the High Performance Centre.
Yeah, we had sort of myself and Corey van Zyl was then the interim coach of the Proteas at the time, leading into the World Cup. He had been chatting to me, and Gerald Majola, who was CEO at the time, been chatting to me about possibly getting involved at high performance level. You know, Corey was then high performance manager, but he was also interim coach, and he was going to go back to his old position. So the position of high performance coach was made available to me, and I couldn't say no to it. You know, I was still going to work with elite cricketers, a very high level of the game, and prepare people. I thought it was appropriate to work in an environment where I could prepare. I knew what international cricket was about, and prepare players for that step up. That meant I was coaching the South African A side and running a national academy. But as it grew, we realized that we needed full-time coaches for those positions. The game was expanding. In the South African under-19 becoming a lot more. There was a lot more cricket for South African under-19. The academy was growing. So was South Africa. We needed to play a lot more, you know, cricket for the South African A side. So we needed full-time coaches. And it was, you know, either do South African A full-time or do what I was doing. And I was loving what I was doing. So, you know, gave up the South African A position. It became a lot more administrative. But look, still obviously hands-on, because I still got, you know, a lot of the role that I also play is as a bowling lead. So when people need bowling assistance, I would still help, or any assistance, or one of the franchise coaches or one of our high performance coaches needed assistance, I would assist. So that's, I moved from coaching into administration, and like I said, it's a little bit of coaching involved.
It's kind of almost, not saying coming to the end of your coaching career where it's more of an administrative role, because your experience is phenomenal when it comes to international cricket. I mean, right now, Kagiso Rabada, one of the world's best bowlers, that was someone that you polished, rubbed the right way, and polished him up to be the bowler that he is today.
Yeah, look, I got to be fair. I saw, the first time I saw him, he had just come from an under-19 World Cup, and saw him for the first time really, besides bowling on TV, I saw him at the National Academy and realized then, this is the real deal. He's fantastic physique, very, very fit, strong, beautiful bowling action. Could bowl 140 at that age already, so 140 plus. So when I saw him for the first time bowl, I thought, wow, this is real, somebody real special. And the good thing about it, he spent, at least a year and a half in our environment. It could so easily have been pushed a bit earlier. It gave him opportunity to play a few series, quite strong series against English Lions. Funny enough, that included a lot of the team that's playing now. Stokes, Bairstow, Butler. All these guys were all playing against us. It was a very strong series. Gave him opportunity to play for the South African A against the English Lions. We went to Australia, where he was now going to be a spearhead in attack. Again, growing, bowling with real quality bowlers like Chantalange, Buren Hendricks, Others Viljoen. These were the guys that were bowling with him. So yeah, it gave him a great period, that he could work his way through to international cricket. Although I always knew he was going to play for South Africa, it was a great period of growing, learning, before he took the step into national cricket, and the rest is history. I mean, he stepped into it beautifully.
How many other Kagiso Rabadas are out there? I mean, you're working with a high performance centre, and you are right there to earmark future talent and work with them. Yeah,
look, I mean, I don't want to be unfair and put a lot of pressure on bowlers at the moment. We've lost a couple of bowlers. We just lost Dale.
You've got Dale Steyn, you've lost now international cricket. You've got people like Vernon Philander, who's nearing the end of possibly their career, another 2-3 seasons.
Yeah, look, I mean, Dale is a big loss. I mean, I thought Dale would continue as a test bowler instead of white ball bowling. That's where I felt he's still unbelievable. So it's a pity we've lost him. But we've got Nkwe who's stepping up, and he's been part of the South African setup. And I watched him over the last 2 weeks prepare for the India trip that they're on now, and he's bowling quickly. It's good to see Buren coming through. He's bowling nicely again. Then we've got a couple of young guys. Luther Sapamla, who's also on the A side. Young Marco Jansen, tall left-arm seamer. He's also in the A side now. He's come really from nowhere. He's from South Africa under 19. We had him in the academy in the winter. Had an outstanding academy and found himself at South African A side. A few guys have moved to the T20, so we lost a few bowlers and we brought him in. So there's a good few bowlers coming through the system, and then in the South African under 19. So, there's 3 or 4 there who I'm excited about. So yeah, look, I mean, I was part of the Proteas when Shaun Pollock retired. When he got to the end of his days, and everybody's saying, "Oh my word, who's going to replace him?" And there we had 2 young guns in Morne Morkel and Dale Steyn, replacing guys like him and Kloosner and Andre Nel and bowling with Makaya. And we just saw how the bowling attack just grew again. So yeah, look, we've lost a few bowlers, but they're all young guys coming through, and I'm quite excited about that.
You've now been included for the upcoming tour of India to be part of the technical stroke coaching team to support Enoch Nkwe. What's the future like for Vincent Barnes? I mean, when there were positions available to be the Protea coach, people were saying Vincent Barnes is one of them.
Yeah, I felt that when Mickey Arthur got given the job, I felt that I was ready to do that. I'd applied and deeply disappointed when I didn't get it. Mickey Arthur got appointed. there was a period that I was sort of playing around whether I should stay or not, and decided to leave the setup. And Cheryl Majola then approached me again to reconsider. Mickey Arthur spoke to me, and I thought, I'll give it a go. And but I think where I am now, it's about, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I doubt if it's going to be. I doubt if I'll be the Proteas coach again. What I'm doing at the moment is, I'm going to assist, use with the bowlers in India as an interim coach. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while, so dust off the cobwebs a bit when it comes to bowling, but it's something that I haven't lost touch with. I've always been heavily involved with bowling, so I'm looking forward to bowl. All the bowlers that are there right now, I've coached them at some stage, so it's nothing new. It's just obviously getting involved in international cricket again. It's again a step up, and spent a week now in India, and there's a hype. It just gave me a good feel of what's expected. When we get there in a couple of weeks' time. So it's a tough place to tour. It's a very, very tough place to tour. It can be a very lonely, dark place if you're not doing well. But it's an unbelievable place to tour. Because of the cricket culture and and the fanatical support they have.
If that job had to come right now, and Cricket South Africa said, Vincent Barnes, we think you're the man to be head coach. I mean, there are talks that there might not be a head coach. It'll be positions divided between people. But if that position had to come, would you take it?
Yeah, the position's changed now. It's called team director. So the team director has got a bit of, obviously, coaching and a bit of management. So it's a different role to in the past. I mean, there's nothing that I can't do. I mean, I've been in a managerial role.
So you'll take it?
And Christian, you bring unnecessary pressure on me. I don't think so, to be honest. I don't think so. I think that boat sailed. What I do now is I really enjoy, and I'm hitting retirement age soon. So
you're enjoying what you're doing, but I mean, every boat that sails has to go to a harbour.
Yeah.
What if that harbour comes back and says Vincent Barnes, technical director of the Proteas?
Yeah, well, if somebody was to put me in the position, and I couldn't say no. I mean, the position that I'm in right now, I'm going as a bowling coach. I got asked, and can you say no? I couldn't say no. I've got to consider it. I've got to speak to my wife. It's again being away for a couple of months, and being away for a long time, and got to speak to her about it, and also got to understand that there's a program around. It's got to be, the structures put in place. So I'm not too concerned about that. That will run. But obviously, it affects your life. It's all of a sudden you get thrust in the forefront again, and you just got to accept it and get on with it. I've always enjoyed pressure, even when I played. So it made me a better player, made me a better coach. So I'm not too concerned about that. But I doubt very much if I'd be interested in the team director position.
Talking about playing, you were a very good bowler. I've never seen you bowl, but I mean, reading just on Vincent Barnes's, the way he ran, his action was just brilliant to watch. Those that wrote about it. You played for Province, you played for Transvaal. How good would Vincent Barnes be in the Proteas setup right now? Where would you be in the bowling order?
I'd be taking a new ball. No, look, I mean, it's a long way back. I mean, you can't compare. I'd like to know. I mean, some people did. Some people, umpires who umpired in our era and umpired after Unity. Could sort of judge, and it looked good. It sounded good. It was interesting to know, and it does. I've always felt that that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to bowl fast, and in the latter stage of my career, I started swinging the ball after playing overseas a bit, and realizing that there's more to just bowling than bowling fast. So started to swing a ball, and but yeah, look, I don't want to compare myself with anybody. I just like I said, I just wanted to be the best at what I did. Whether I was playing football or playing cricket, I just wanted to be the best.
He was a very one-club man, playing for Batswood as a soccer player.
Yeah, Batswood yeah, that's what I grew up in a home with my mom and dad was heavily involved with Battersea Football Club. So my brother and myself obviously played for Battersea. My sister played. They were also involved with Battersea baseball and softball. Sister played softball. Brother played baseball. I was an odd man out. I had some mates in the street who thought I could bowl fast. So you know, they hauled me off to Victoria Cricket Club, and that's where I played. Started my cricket career. But yeah, Battersea's been my, you know, my over 60s team now is they're all my friends. You know, we've grown up. They're like my brothers, and that's the, you know, it's, today we're still a very, very tight knit group of friends, and so yeah, so that's why I couldn't move from the club. I just love being there.
In your role right now with Cricket South Africa, that you're going to be supporting the Proteas as bowling coach for the upcoming series against India, what is the next 2 years looking like for Vincent Barnes? What is your immediate plans? You were hinting of retirement age, but I believe you still have so much to offer for South Africa, and especially Cricket South Africa. And
No.
once again, there's always been the name Vincent Barnes coming up for Protea coach.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, the position that I'm in at the moment is, you know, there's so much happening in it. You know, I've also have women's cricket as well. So not the national team. The national team used to be there, but it's just grown and grown. So it's now become fully fledged, and it falls under the director of cricket now. Although the Women's Academy falls under the high performance program. So that is also a massive area at the moment that we're attending to at the moment. So the main structure is quite solid. You know, I've got 4 coaches working in that environment. Whereas in the women, I've got 1. And we need to obviously, you know, I'd like to mirror the two cricket pipelines. You know, that they're obviously not as many women playing cricket as men, but it obviously is growing, and we need full-time people operating in that structure, and that's what we're busy with right now to ensure that there's you know, the depth is stronger and the depth is getting prepared. You know, the gap between the national side and the provincial side is too big. That sort of area in between that we've sort of addressing that, and that's being, like with the men, we've got South African under-19, we've got National Academy, we've got the South African A side, we've got domestic franchises. You know, here we just got, in the women's side, we just got provincial cricket and the international side. So now we've got an academy, which we started now for the past 2 years. They become a South African emerging women's team, and we're trying to get as much cricket for them as possible. They just beat Bangladesh now. So trying to get at least two series a year for them. So that's another area of growth. And there's a lot of other little programs around now, like the spin camp, and we've got the elite fast bowlers group as well. So there's a lot happening throughout the year, and winter's a very, very, very busy part of the year for me. You know, all our programs are running, both national academies. South African A is away. South African under-19 just played Pakistan recently, and they're preparing for a World Cup. So September is going to be, they start with their preparation for January 2020 for the under-19 World Cup. So a lot happening all the time. So keeps me busy, and it's just love being involved in it.
So Vincent Barnes basically gave me an answer within an answer, but not really the answer. So in 2 years' time, your plan, will you still be involved in South African cricket?
Yeah,
or
well,
has there ever been interest from international teams to say, Vincent Barnes, we want you?
There has been, there has been approaches.
To be head coach somewhere else?
Yeah, there has. But look, I've turned it down. It's
How come?
Yeah, look, I mean, this is what I do. This is, you know, I've come through an era of when I played my sport, wouldn't allow this, you know, that couldn't play for your country, and all I wanted to do when at Unity was ensure that I would provide opportunities for our cricketers coming through system, to provide them with opportunities that I wasn't, and I continue to do that. It's I won't stop doing it. I can't see myself coaching in other countries young cricketers. I can't see myself, although I can't say it won't happen, but where I am right now is I'll continue doing what I'm doing, and I love it. It's so that's probably the next couple of years.
I mean, we've seen South African players, former Proteas, joining other international teams, and Herschel Gibbs is one of them that even got coached somewhere else. Ashwell Prince has coached somewhere else already in T20 competitions, etc. If you had to look at your career right now, coaching career, playing career, obviously it was out of unification. Do you have any regrets?
Absolutely no regrets. Look, I mean, I grew up in the apartheid era, and all my sport was played there. Unity came at the late stage. I played 2 years of pro football, and after playing for so many years in a very strong amateur football side, and I was playing professional football 2 years, and then cricket unified. And that unification, it meant now that you couldn't play. At that time, you could still play two sports. You could play a winter sport. You could play football in the winter and cricket in the summer. Now it was different. Cricket was now going to take up at least 8 months of your time, and it meant that being a pro footballer is the same. So it meant I had to decide. So I decided that's me. I'll play amateur football again and just enjoy it. And sort of my career was now going to be cricket as a coach, and started full time. And so yeah, look, I mean, it's if I look back in my playing career, we all would love to have played for our country if we could. Mine was purely by choice. As long as the apartheid was around, there was no ways that I was going to play on the so-called other side, or we had a strong group of friends, people around me that was was quite strongly, very strict with our principles, and felt that the only way this was going to happen is if apartheid was gone. And a few years down the line, apartheid left. I mean, apartheid was over, and yeah, but it was too late in my career. So what I'm doing at the moment, absolutely love. I've got no regrets. What I do at the moment is I love, and so yeah, no regrets.
It is Vincent Barnes joining us right here on marawaTV. And as we close our interview, I'm going to ask him the following question again. If the position became available to be a head coach or technical director of the Proteas tomorrow, now, will Vincent Barnes take it?
And they said it's yours, Vincent. I probably would.
Probably, or will?
You're putting me under. You've been doing this now for how long? For years, I think, that you've been doing this to me. So, it's always as a coach, you always want to coach at the highest level, and even now, when I got asked about a week and a bit ago, to go with the team and to act as bowling coach, when I spoke to Enoch, and I said yes, and it was, how could I say no to our country? We got a young coach. He's a good friend of mine. He worked with me. In fact, he assisted me a few times with the A side, and know him very well. So I couldn't say no. I know that there is a need for obviously some experience around him. And once I walked away, and I had to phone Debbie and tell her that this was going to happen. It's just got the adrenaline going a bit. It's just wow. Here we go again. It's a hard place, international cricket. It's an unbelievable place to be part of. I always say this to our young cricketers. It's where you want to be. Once you've tasted it, you just don't want to step down. You want to be there all the time. It's an unbelievable world. It's what you aspire to as a cricketer, or as any sportsman, whether you play football, cricket, rugby. You aspire to become a Protea, Springbok, Bafana, and player, and so yeah. Look, it's exciting. When you asked me, I'd got the adrenaline going again, and got all excited again, and started thinking a bit about India now. And last week that we were in India, gave it a good think. you know, gave it a lot of thought about the conditions again that we're coming to, and you know, it's completely different to here. Started thinking about all these things. We started at bowling, what lengths we got to bowl, what lines we got to bowl, you know, all these type of things. It all comes back, and so yeah, look, it's if the position was made available, I'd probably have to give it some thought, isn't it? And look, I mean, you never know what it. If all of a sudden you start thinking about it, like I said, I mean, I didn't think I'd be. 2 weeks ago, I didn't think I'd be here talking to you as the assistant coach or bowling coach for the Proteas, you know, albeit interim. I didn't think I'd be doing it, you know, and here it's happened. So if something like that does, and I said yes, by the way, I didn't say no, you know, I didn't say why, I just said yes. So if the position became available, and the way I'm thinking at the moment is nah, but you never know.
Vincent Barnes, thank you so much for joining us right here on marawaTV. Good luck for the upcoming tour of India. As you said, conditions are going to be tough. And I know you're also very happy that your EPL team, Man City, is doing well.
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, being a Man City supporter for over 50 years, it's been obviously a roller coaster ride. But, you know, to watch him play week in and week out, them playing beautiful football. And that to me is, you know, they won the league now a couple of times, and so it is a pleasure to watch every week. But it's not just about the winning; it's the way they play. It's, you know, it's absolutely. I think every football lover, whether you're United, Liverpool, Chelsea, whatever supporter, Arsenal supporter, you enjoy. You wanna watch a team play football like that, and that's what I just love. I enjoyed it. I watched him play yesterday, but I had to obviously switch between the Test match in England and the football, but it's just the way they're playing, and I totally enjoy it, and I can say it's my team.
As you can see, excitement in his face. Thank you so much, Vinny Barnes, for joining us right here on marawaTV.